Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about journaling again because I often get the question from people who know that I journal and don't journal themselves, what I journal about. And because I am a total brain dumper, I thought I would research this a little bit and talk about my own experience when it comes to journaling. So when I journal, I write about my day. And I don't just write about factual things that happened, I talk about how I felt about them. Um, Whether it's negative or positive, I try to work through all the emotions that I have about my day. Sometimes I have a very bland day, like work was fine and nothing interesting happened. I might write a page less, but then I generally try to write about different topics. And some of these topics I want to share with you. So what I like doing when I don't have anything to write about is to research something that I find interesting. For example, I was obsessed with volcanoes for a while, and I wrote about it in my journal. So simply look up some sources. It can be Wikipedia, whatever you want, and write about what you find out about something you find interesting. If you really don't know what you find interesting, you could also just link surf on a Wikipedia. Like every page links to another page, and you are bound to find something that you really like. So I do that when I'm at a loss of what to write. I also reminisce about life events. So I think about significant things in my life. They may be positive or negative or neutral, but I like to relive them, analyze them, because I'm a different person now and I might think differently about things that happened in the past. So if you, all of you must have had interesting things happen to you. You can write about them. And it doesn't have to be a thing that happened recently. I occasionally write down prayers in my journal. If you're not religious, you can write down wishes and hopes for the future or dreams. I know writing prayers down is really something that people who aren't religious do, but we all have hopes, wishes, and dreams that we can write about. You don't have to be religious for that. What you see a lot is people keeping gratitude lists, and I find this a really interesting idea. I actually did a little bit of research for this video because I've always heard that journaling is a very beneficial act. And I wanted to see some actual sources about this. So there has been research on this topic, and it's actually beneficial. If you only focus on the negative side of things, it can be actually harmful. But generally, if you write about both emotions and then you analyze the situation on a factual level, you benefit from that with your mental health and your physical health. I can put a link down below to the study that I read. So I think when you write down gratitude lists, it can have a really positive effect on you because you become more aware of what is good in your life. It can improve your general state of being. Of course, I don't know if this research wasn't specifically about gratitude lists, but the study did mention that focusing on the negative and not analyzing the situation or processing it cognitively, it does not improve your health. It actually makes your health worse. So if you focus on the positive, you might be able to get some positive health effects from that. So gratitude lists are a good way to focus on that. I'm not really a list keeper, so I don't really do that, but I do try to write through situations, write about what I'm feeling, and then after that, I try to, I think it's like a cognitive behavioral therapy thing that you try to change a situation into a more objective state. So if you're watching it from the outside, not influenced by the feelings you're having, what would you say about the situation? Is your feeling justified, or should you look at it from a different angle? And like that, if you like switch your thoughts like that, it can actually become a better pattern in your brain. What I've done in the past, as a journal exercise is write a letter to yourself, to myself. You can write a letter to future you, so write about what you want to achieve, what you're looking forward to in your life, but you can also write a letter to your past self. If you were ever in a hard spot, what would you want to hear? You can reminisce in that manner, or reevaluate a certain situation like that. What you also often hear about is stream of consciousness writing. People tend to do morning pages for that, which is a method. I don't remember who thought it up, but it is a very well-known phenomenon. You can Google it. Morning pages is when you just write 3 pages, stream of consciousness. You're not allowed to edit. And I think this can be very beneficial. I don't do this because I am not a morning person, and I get up early to go walk my dog. And I already hate that, and I can't imagine making more time in the morning to actually write 3 pages. So I'm more of an evening journaler. I'm totally fine with that. I'd like to keep it that way, but it could be beneficial to do the morning pages to get all the nonsense out of your head before you start the day. I like to get the nonsense out of my head before I go to sleep. That's why I'm more of a night journaler too. So there's plenty of things to write about, even if it may seem mundane to you. Writing to me is something that I've had to practice. There's been a certain type of discipline that I needed to get into writing. So now that I'm used to writing like 4 pages a day, it's actually very easy. Sometimes I don't have the time. I try to make time, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. And we all have busy lives. We have family, boyfriends, girlfriends, dogs, work, exercise, etc. So it's totally understandable if it doesn't work, or it doesn't, you're not able to plan it in. But if you just make some time once a week or twice a week to sit down and write, you get into that habit, and I feel like it's very beneficial. To me, it's very beneficial to get all the thoughts out and not bother anyone with it. I can be a little bit obsessive, so when I worry about something, I just write about it to get it out. So get into that habit and try to write it out, basically. I don't know if you guys have seen my other video about my journaling setup. I actually changed covers this week. I'm going on a trip next week, and this is a way more practical cover to bring with me. I'm going to be running around the city a lot. So yeah, this is a Nocco Seed A5, and I have a patch on the back and a pin in the front. So yeah, same journal still. U-TWSBI Eco in here, the purple one. I love this pen. Yeah, so that's my journaling advice. If you have any questions about journaling, or about my journal setup, or about my pens, please don't hesitate to ask them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and next time I'll be back with some pens, I think. Thank you guys, bye!